Good morning, Shuna.
Morning.
I've been really looking forward to interviewing you, Shuna, because we've been meaning to do this for some time, haven't we? Here we are today, so thank you for making that time for us. So the thing that I'm particularly interested in for yourself, Shuna, is your journey, in the journey from where you were before you came to train with the NLP Life Company, and actually where you are now, okay? So in terms of, from conversations we've had in the past, I know that you've always been very keen on personal development.
I have, yes.
Okay. So if you take yourself back to when you first started becoming interested in personal development, how long ago would you say that was?
I'd say it's probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I was reading books and watching videos, and a friend had recommended that I read The Secret to try and get myself into a more positive mindset. And I was attending events that were aimed at people wanting to build their confidence and become coaches. So I was just trying lots and lots of different things to try and get myself out of the place I was at, because I just wasn't very confident at that point in moving forward.
Brilliant. So if you take yourself back to that time now, when you were looking for those things, you were, I take it you were sort of searching for something to give you the answers that you were looking for. So what was life like for you as a person at that time? How were things for you on a daily basis?
Just quite frustrating, because there were lots of things that I wanted to do, but there was something just holding me back from doing that, because I just didn't have the self-belief that I could do things, didn't know where to start, didn't know how to change my thinking properly, and I was just stuck in habits where I just kept going round and round in circles and just feeling quite frustrated generally, I think.
Okay. So what kind of things did you want to do?
Well, I'd wanted to do something where I was helping people for a long time, because my main career has been in IT. And I'd done things like done partial training for the bowing technique, I'd become a Reiki practitioner, to do things to help people, but there was still always something holding me back. So I had all these skills, but no confidence to actually set up a business or do something different. And then the more I learnt about coaching, that was something that really interested me. But I realised that I'd got lots of issues myself to clear up, that, for example, I couldn't help somebody else become more confident if I wasn't actually confident myself, so I realised that I'd got those issues to deal with as well, but just didn't know where to start, how to deal with that. Yeah,
good, and it's good that you recognise that you needed to sort your own stuff, as we call it, out first before you were going on to help other people. So in terms of it, perhaps in your daily life, what did that lack of confidence, how did that show out? Because there's one thing wanting to be confident to work with other people. Did your lack of confidence affect you on a daily basis?
Pretty much. I'd always had a big fear about speaking in front of groups of people, and the jobs I was doing as a project manager, that did hamper me quite a lot. So on a daily basis I'd be needing to speak to groups of people, guiding people, giving presentations, giving updates to managers and things like that, and it always got in the way because I just had this massive fear about speaking in front of people. So lots of other ways that it held me back, but that was the one big thing that I can remember, feeling that frustration of not being able to sort of get my point across easily to people.
And that's obviously very common. Fear of public speaking. I think if it's not there now, it certainly was until recently the number one fear that people have. So you're amongst lots of other people. And so when you knew that you were going to have to speak in front of people, what did that feel like for you inside?
Utter panic. So I'd be worrying about it sometimes even days before it was happening, and if I was in meetings and I knew it was my turn coming up to say something, I wasn't paying attention to the meeting whatsoever, because I was just panicking about what I was going to say, how I was going to say it, and then invariably whenever I did speak I just sort of fluffed whatever it was I was going to say and just went bright red and just into a state of panic generally. So but then I'd beat myself up for not having done well enough, so it was just in this vicious cycle really.
So what did that feeling of panic feel like for you inside?
Just turmoil really. I sort of had panicky feelings in my stomach, and my thoughts were just racing and going round in circles, and the thoughts were just completely overwhelming, so any rational or logical thoughts were just sort of pushed to one side while this panic was going round and round in my head.
Yeah, and that's a really good description, because once you've got those kinds of things going on, it's less easy then to actually focus on what it is that you want to say, and say it in a way that puts your message across in a congruent way. So you'd had, and how long had that been going on for you?
Pretty much all of my career.
Right.
So as far back as I can remember, it's always been an issue for me. And the more I progressed in my career, obviously the more I had to do it, so it became more and more of an issue.
Yeah, and that's often the way, of course, with when we're in a career where we're looking for advancement.
Yeah.
That comes as part and parcel, presented at meetings, and you know that's an important part of it. And sorry, Karen.
I was just going to say, I was just tending to avoid situations as much as I could as well, so I wouldn't put myself forward for jobs if I knew that was going to be a big part of the role as well. So, so it kind of hampered me in making progress too.
Yeah, it's quite limiting, isn't it? Yeah. And so had you been looking in, had you sort of been reading books in order to overcome that? Was that what you've been doing?
Yes, those kind of books, and also seminars that were being put on that I spent an awful lot of money on to actually help me become a coach. But it was just aimed at teaching people skills to become a coach, not actually dealing with the fundamental fears and limiting beliefs that I'd got, but obviously I didn't realise that at the time.
Yes, yeah, okay. And so, how did you come to the Tailored Life Company? What was it about the company that made you decide to come and try this out?
Yeah, I had a chance meeting with somebody at one of the events that I went to, and she could see that I was lacking in confidence and started talking to me about NLP and about some training that she'd done with the Tailored Life Company. And coincidentally, the weekend after I was on that event, there was a free coaching weekend that had come up. So from what she described, it just seemed to be what I was looking for, that it would actually get rid of the issues that I was having, but I could also help other people in the process.
Yeah.
So that was 2.5 years ago that I first came on the coaching weekend.
Yes, yeah.
And I've not looked back since.
And did you, before you came to that weekend, did you believe that it was going to work for you? What were your thoughts?
I came with an open mind because I didn't really know too much about NLP at that point. But it was just everything that was said on that weekend resonated with me, and I could see how that could actually help me and how I could help other people using those techniques.
So you came onto the practitioner course and started clearing your stuff up, as everyone does. And so how did you feel after that?
A lot clearer. I seem to remember saying to you at one point that things were a lot quieter in my head at the end of it. So I hadn't got those conflicting thoughts and the thoughts of self-doubt and the internal voice that was telling me that I was no good and that kind of thing. That all quietened down. And I just felt more able to actually go and do the things that I wanted to do that were been held back from doing before.
Good. And so did you start coaching at that point?
Yes, I did, yeah. I did Master Practitioner soon afterwards, so it was around that time that I started coaching people. Good,
excellent. And so in terms of yours, because obviously you've gone on since then, and now you're a trainer, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but in terms of your coaching, did you feel confident at that time to actually deliver the coaching that you learned how to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I was given a clear structure during the training on how to actually coach people through using NLP techniques and the NLP mindset. So yes, definitely able to just go out there and start coaching people straight away. Yeah,
good. And so that's in terms of the process for you to coach. And inside, did you also, had that doubt gone? Were you feeling confident?
Yeah. So I felt in a much better position that I could actually help people effectively, having got rid of my own stuff.
Yeah, good. So of course since then you've gone on to become a trainer, and now you're part of the Master Training Program,
I am, yes.
Which is fabulous. And so could you ever have imagined standing up in front of a group of people and, well, I mean, it's, how long is your practitioner course?
7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
So could you imagine yourself standing up in front of a group of people for 7 days and just being the person that's running the show as such?
No, 2.5 years ago, if somebody had told me that I'd be training people for 7 days, I'd have told them they were talking rubbish, basically.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine that happening.
No, not at all. But it now actually feels very comfortable, and I actually enjoy doing it, which I never thought I'd be able to say.
Excellent. So you're part of the Tailored Life Company Master Training Program now. You're going into year 2 as we record this. And so I think one of the questions I've got for you now, Shuna, is that there are other people who graduated as a trainer with the Tailored Life Company before you, and yet they haven't actually delivered any trainings, they haven't actually got any delegates on the trainings. Yeah? So how have you managed to be as successful as you are and, you know, getting people onto your courses?
One thing, having the mindset and the I'm trying to think how to phrase it, the skills that you need to be a trainer. But the thing that would have been missing for me without the Master Training Program is the business mindset to actually do that. How to actually structure marketing, because I hadn't got a clue about marketing before I became a coach or a trainer. And that accountability as well, to make sure that I'm sticking to the plans that I've made, because it's very easy to make plans, but sticking to them and keeping going month after month can be quite a challenge sometimes.
Yes, yeah, and that's when people get distracted and look for the easy answers sometimes, isn't it? But it just takes perseverance and resilience, and of course having the skills of a trainer with all the other skills that you've picked up during the NLP practitioner, the NLP plus Master practitioner. You can use those to assist you when times get tough.
Yes, absolutely.
Because of course they do sometimes. Yeah, fabulous. And so, I mean, for me, I've just been so impressed with watching your journey over the last 2.5 years, because I remember when, you know, you first came to the coaching weekend, and now to see where you are now and helping so many other people, because it's not just about us, is it? It's about, you know, the bigger picture and who else we can help. Yeah, and with your trainings, who do you specialise in assisting? Who do you like to help?
I focus on helping women with confidence issues who don't quite feel good enough or don't have that self-belief, and basically getting them from a point where I was to hopefully where I am now.
Yeah, fabulous. And so what message have you got for anyone who's experiencing what you experienced in the past?
I think I spent a long time thinking there was no way out of it and I'd just be stuck like that for the rest of my life. But it was just an eye-opener for me that there are ways that you can actually get yourself out of that way without actually having to force yourself to do things that just scare you, that there are ways to actually get to the root cause of the problem that just make dealing with things so much easier and more comfortable, definitely.
Excellent. And fantastic, Shuna, you've done so well, and we really look forward to seeing your journey as you move forward.
Me too.
Thank you.